Welcome back, part 2 of turning this horrible old tank into a nice new looking tank. Last week, spent several hours over a couple of days getting it down to bare metal and putting the primer, the filler primer onto it. This week, need to sort out the dents and get it into white, hopefully the red section painted, and also add on the stickers. We'll see how we get on. Before I get all mucky and covered in dust, I thought I'd quickly recap. Price, we're now up to 11,107. We have ordered from Zealtronic a YPVS power valve controller. That's $454. And thanks to Mr. Helpful, by the way, we have a 3D printed version of the clock surround. We've got the little sort of grill that goes down in the V of the fairing. Before I forget, there's £37.45 worth of fuel and various different hose clamps and clips, all different sizes, lots of. Just want to make sure that I had every conceivable clip. I've got two, actually I've got three of these Rd500s to do now, so yeah. I'm just explaining my thought process. This is absolutely not a how to do bodywork on motorcycles tutorial, because I am absolutely not an expert. All of this stuff is not my profession. It's just me giving it the best shot I can as a do-it-yourself. We got this into a good 2-pack filler primer last week. There are some minor defects in that surface. I've just keyed the whole thing. Scotch-Brite underneath. That doesn't need to be shiny smooth, but keyed up so it'll adhere with the next layer of stuff. Yeah, some minor defects in this side of things, but the main things are one big dent there, a crease dent in here, which is not too bad. And then what's happened at the side of the tank at some point is this bike's obviously been down the road and the switchgear has punched a dint into that. And I did think there was another one on this side, but it's a very minor kiss. You probably can't pick that on the camera. Yeah. I did watch this one guy, and he added to his body filler, he added some.
So what did he add?
Sorry, yeah, fiberglass resin. That's what he added. And I'll do for first coat on there. Yeah, you can see it, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not particularly big.
No, I hadn't noticed it before.
Obviously the desk needs a little bit of filling. Let that cure a bit. That's going to take at least 2 more goes to build that up. That's the worst one. Yeah, if you didn't have this restriction in here, I'd be heating that up and trying to get a bar in there and try and pop that out a bit. It's a bit bigger than I would like. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that one at the moment. There's not an excess. So give it like 15-20 minutes to dry. This one's a bit of a weird sort of shape. I'm trying not to play with it too much, but it seems to be running off the side. So I'll shallow that out a little bit more. Best to build it up in layers. Don't have to get everything done in one go. That's nice. I'm happy with that. And so's that side. So we'll let it dry, come back to it. Stop dicking about with it, Dave. Make it worse.
After you've had a coffee.
After I've had a coffee, yeah. We are talking about things that I've learned, I suppose. So I might as well mention it right now. When I was younger, I used to try to rush all of this stuff. And it never turns out good. Not the way you want it. You have a vision in your mind, it's going to look like a brand new piece and the rest of it. The reality is, if you want to get halfway decent with it, budget plenty of time. Well, we were talking about this last week. We said, oh, how long is this going to take? So the first weekend, we've got it down into primer. There's going to be this weekend, next weekend, and I would allow comfortably a 4th weekend, just purely on getting this tank right. If you think you're going to just knock it all out in one weekend, well, you could if you've got really good skill set and a lot of experience, which I don't.
And it's cold as well, so it's not drying as quick.
Yeah, it's just patience is probably the most challenging aspect. That's probably the same with the whole thing, you know, the entire project. You're looking at me like, go on, what are you going to say?
No, you impatience.
Me impatience?
Yeah.
I think
You've got better.
I think I'm pretty patient, yeah.
No, you wanted to put more primer on it, and I was like, just leave it. That's
true, actually, yes.
You'll regret it.
Last week when I was doing this, and I'm thinking, that looks really good. the temptation, burning passion from me is stick another fucking coat over it because it's going to get even better. But that doesn't work. It turns to shit. And Tracy pulled me back from the brink quite rightly. Thank you, darling.
Action, go. As soon as I cut you off mid-sentence.
Okay. So first layer of filler on. It's dried. We left it for about 40 minutes. And yeah, not exactly dried particularly quickly. I might have to add a little bit more hardener on this next layer. But yeah, it's, for example, here, the crease goes that way. So I'm going across. And you can see where it's matching to the high spots of the metal either side. So obviously there's an impression there. Very subtle now. Is it subtle enough to go with as it is? Probably not. Okay, so now you can see the surrounding metal is the high spot.
Go.
All right, so we've sanded the first layer of filler. This side's not too bad at all. I might put another little thin skim over that. I need a building layer on this to bring it up further. This one here also needs a building layer to bring it up. It's still an impression, you know, a depression rather. It's still down in there. And that one there is very, very small indeed. But okay, so repeat the process again. This time a little bit thinner layer, a little bit more hardener because of the air temperatures or whatever. It's too cool. We left that for 40 minutes and it was still, it was firm and sandable, but ideally it wants to be harder. So we'll add more hardener.
Okay.
Okay, so second layer of filler applied. Okay, so we see the two different colors of the filler. The light pink is the original piece. The darker pink is the one with the extra hardener in it. And then we've got, obviously metal is the high spot, and then it fades into the grey filler primer. Then we've got the fresh filler, then the original filler. Now it does look visually very good. If I now just use my thumb, barely chewing a bone over there. Actually, I'll take that back. I was about to say, oh, I can feel a little imperfection, but that's pretty good. Another coat of filler primer and then some guide coat. This is not yet, I don't think. What is it? I'm trying to look at it from different angles. I love nature, but it's noisy sometimes. Right, so there is a minor imperfection just in here, but I don't know if you can make that out. Right, but that size of imperfection I'm looking at there is so thin it will get covered quite nicely by the guide coat, by the filler primer. We've got here. I almost feel a little ridge in there. I might just polish that up just a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty good. And this one, this is what it looks like before we do the sanding.
There you go.
Okay, so it probably looks like we've just taken 99% of all of that filler off on this dent. And we probably have. However, that's the process. And whilst it may look nicely filled, you can feel, like if I run my hand across here, that's all one shape, but I can actually feel a slight impression in here. So that's going to take one more go. So that being the case, we'll probably put a thin smear on everything. Yeah, but that is a minor dent now. You probably could get away with it, but I don't know, just why would you rush it? You're going to be looking at the tank far longer than you are going to be sanding the tank, aren't you? This next layer of filler, this is where I kind of liked what the chap did on the video, where he put the fiberglass resin into the filler to mix it. I think he did about 5 or 10%. And it shares a lot of the same chemical components. And why would you do that? Why would you do that? It's because it becomes buttery smooth and creamy, and when you're doing that thin final layer, that's kind of what you want. I've also got this, which is a it's a glaze for finishing off. So I may use this. It says it's fast drying, shrink resistant, dry smooth for use over primer surface. So we've got bare metal here, so I won't use it just yet. But that's kind of what I'm talking about, is using your body filler or adjusting your body filler to mimic something like this. It's a good idea.
Cool. Okay.
Happy with this one after 2 layers of filling and sanding. This has got a 3rd layer in at the minute, so we'll let that dry and then sand it. This has got a 3rd layer in, we'll let that dry and then sand it. And then we'll be on to priming and finishing off that phase, getting the shape of the tank looking half decent. All good?
Good. Go.
Okay, so I've put a coat on. I was telling Tracy, I added a little bit too much thinner, so that's never ideal. But anyway, it's going on pretty well. It's the first coat. We'll let it flash off. Okay, it's 23 minutes later. You can tell when you look at the color of the tank, it's now flashed off. It's now dry. But you can also see in the light here, the surface of where the filler spots have been. You'll be able to find all 4. Because this is only a thin coat. So now I'm going to put it on pretty thick. All right. I reckon today we'll give that an hour now to dry, 1 hour. So that'll take us to what, 2:15? All right, then we can put the guide coat on it, sand it off, make sure it's all good to go. I need my glasses, I can't see what I'm doing. So once we've got it into white, then we'll leave that all week to dry and properly gas off. I mean, paint goes dry, yes, but it's not properly gassed off straight away. So we'll do that. We'll let it properly gas off during the week. Then we'll put the stickers on. So next week we'll put the stickers on and we'll do the red. And the point about that is we won't be able to progress to lacquer. So that'll come in weekend 4. And the reason we can't progress to lacquer is because the stickers with the glue that's on the back, what I've had in the past is once you put them on, if you don't let that glue set properly for the next few days and chemically adhere or whatever, then what will happen is when you put your lacquer on, it will seep behind it and you ruin the whole job. Absolutely ruin it. Last time that happened to me on a job, doing it, I think it was an Rd500. God, I was good. And I knew what the problem was. I said I was just being impatient, just trying to push it too fast too soon.
Right, stop waffling then. That's right.
Yeah, sorry, that's that.
Bye.
Okay, it's looking very nice generally. We're now going to put the guide coat over it. So I'm just going to get any old sort of black paint, dust it over. In essence, it's like just making it kind of dirty. The reason I say any old paint is because the paint I'm about to apply is not going to stay on there. It'll make sense when you see the exercise. The worst part I've got at the moment is, believe it or not, that little crease just looks a little bit pinhole-y, so to speak. Does that make sense? You want to come around the side so you can see what I'm talking about? See in here? I don't know if they're coming through. Can you see that?
Not very well.
Oh, okay. All right, but it's there, right? So what I'm talking about is I can see surface imperfections. I'm now going to go through a process of using some black paint as a guide coat, and I'll smooth it off, and it'll be very easy to see when I've got the surface smooth. I'm not going to be using a block. Using blocks, for me anyway, right, this is how I work. And as I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what I found works well for me. The blocks I use when I'm trying to shape something. That phase is now done. Now I want smooth surface. So smooth surface, I'm going to be using these. All right. What I will say is I'm not going to bother doing the underside because I'm not trying to get that like a glass mirror. I want the outside to be super smooth and shiny and defect free, so I need this guide coat. Yeah. The overall outcome of this is be something like about a 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm not trying to match a professional.
Good job.
Yeah, but it costs, doesn't it? It's like,
yes.
God, what was the last time I paid?
It was
over $2,000 just for one tank. Mm. Yeah, that's £1,000 UK price if you're interested. And this will be.
And it was gone for
months.
Months.
Yeah. So this will be 4 weekends, maybe 20 hours worth of work, and about $500 or 250 quid. All right. There we go.
Bargain.
A bargain, yeah. But unfortunately not perfect.
Good enough.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Ready? Mm-hmm. Right. So we've gone over and taken most of the guide coat off. You can still see some minor imperfections here. So as we just polish through, we'll remove those. Okay, there's a little bit more here. You see how easy it is to spot? Mm-hmm. There's no way I could see that with my naked eye, not, you know, unless I put the guide coat on it. Now, if that is good at showing you minor, very, very minor little bits and pieces, then look at that, right? So that's currently how that scab looks. The black paint's all in the low spots, and there's more low spots where the filler is because of pinhole has dried. Now, watch what's happening now. As I'm scraping off the primer, the filler primer, right, those pinholes are disappearing, which tells me that everything is all at the same surface level and super smooth. So when I come to put my white paint on it, it shouldn't go all crazy and I shouldn't be able to tell where that filler is. Okay, so this white paint it's been specifically mixed up to match one of the Chinese plastic panels that we bought 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Right, come around this side because this side's the better side. All right, so obviously the paint is wet at the moment and it looks pretty good, pretty good. There's a little bit of orange peely around here, which we can always sort of cut back into. And then I've got a bit of a run under this curve here and weird, I don't know what's going on with that, right? So I wanted to separate out. So look, this will get done again next weekend. It's not gonna be a nightmare to recover this, but yeah, overall it's getting there. The coverage of the white paint, it doesn't, you know, there's what, 3 coats on there? Mm. Yeah, and it's not like white just yet, is it?
No, so
no. So we'll let this
sand back and then go again. It's like sand back and then go again.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So
sorry, I'm covering my mouth. It stinks.
It is a bit smelly. So yeah, look, not too bad in terms of the filling and the overall shape of the tank repair. The general sort of smoothness is pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, look, I mean, even at the minute, I'd probably give it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10, but bear in mind, there's no lacquer on this yet.
No.
And we haven't put the red piece on yet. We haven't put the stickers on and whatnot. So we will smooth this down a bit more, but we'll let it get hard first. I've got just a touch more in the gun, so I'm like 50-50. Do I throw it on or do I just like quit while I'm ahead? And you know the answer to that already, don't we?
Yeah.
We quit while we're ahead.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, right, we'll see you next week.